Hey there. I'll just wait for a few minutes. Well, a minute. Hey there, hey there, hey there. I don't know if anybody's in here or not. Not yet. Hello. So I just feel like talking about some things about how real it's going to be coming up very soon. Everybody's going to feel it. Uh, so I'll just start talking. It's a few things that I saw during kind of like my dream state, but it was, I would say during the what you would call theta brain waves, when you're the most relaxed. It's like not a dream state, but like you're not fully awake either. You're at a point where you can still, the veil is kind of still thin, where you can see things. And I saw a few things. First thing I saw is May. I saw a word that said May, M-A-Y, capital letters, May, and D-T in small letters. May and D-T in small letters. And I said, D-T, that's Donald Trump. So something is going to happen. It either happened this past May or something's going to happen this upcoming May to Donald Trump. So I tried to ask to clarify, and it looks like something is going to happen May of 2026 regarding Donald Trump. Now, I don't know if it's going to be something that's going to be put out there in the public. Because like I said, there was a nuclear explosion in 2021 in the United States of America, and don't nobody know about that. They don't realize that they're not alive. People don't even realize they're not alive. There's a reason why it's a show called The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is talking about people right now in the United States of America. They are the Walking Dead, except for a few who are still connected to the divine. Okay, and that's really just a few. All right, but I saw that something's going to happen to DT in May, and it might be where the whole public is going to hear about it. I don't know if something's going to happen with the presidency, where JD Vance is going to take over for a little while, and then somebody else comes in, maybe from the Democratic side. But some people call it a pole shift that's happening. I just say, oh, the earth is splitting. It's probably about to be complete. Some people call it a pole shift, and to me, it looks like the earth is going to be about to be finished splitting. Okay, and you're going to have a different earth. This particular earth right here is going to be the old earth where everything is going to happen. A lot of people are going to be stuck, but I want to talk about brown people right now. Brown people just insist on following these Democrats. Now, you have to be right spiritually anyway, so it don't even matter if you don't follow either one of them, honestly. It doesn't even matter. But I really caution There are so many, specifically brown women, that are almost like just so gleeful at the fact that Donald Trump might be sick. But I've been said I believe the real Donald Trump is somewhere in Hawaii, because I saw a vision of him with that type of shirt, those shirts that a lot of middle-aged Caucasian men wear when they go to Hawaii, that you see on TV. When they go into Hawaii, they wear those loud-looking shirts, button shirts. And I saw a vision of him, an image of him, in my mind's eye with that shirt on, like he's somewhere vacationing. And he probably is. You know why? Because I don't think he's in the United States. I believe it was a nuclear bomb in 2021, and a lot of these people, including Joe Biden, you notice that don't look like the real Joe Biden. That whole time that we saw Joe Biden, that doesn't look like the Joe Biden from the time that Obama was president. That looked like a completely different person. That looked like his nose looked different, his eyes look different, his skin looks tight, like his eyes are pulled back, like he had a whole facelift. Ain't no 80-year-old man trying to get no facelift like he cares about how he looked that much. That was a completely different person. That was not the Joe Biden from the time that Obama was president. That was not the same person. Nobody cared. See, I think everybody, a lot of those politicians, they left. They already knew what was going to go down in 2021. It was a nuclear bomb. A lot of them are not even in the United States of America, because the real United States of America has been ruined. And a lot of us who are in the U.S. are still, to go on. But it's just like people who are murdered, red robbed, right? Murdered, red robbed. I say red wrong. And they don't know right away that something happened to them. It takes a while. It can take years. It can take years for them to know something happened to them. But they're still carrying on in life. They still carrying on with their life in a different dimension. Like nothing ever happened. Nothing ever changed. Everything still continues to go on. They don't know something happened. Because that's how this mind is working. You do know we are not the mind. I want you to know we are not the mind. And when you disconnect from the mind, you realize that something went on. It's when you disconnect from the mind. And that's when you see that something happened. But so I don't believe Trump, the real Trump, is here. I don't think that we have been seeing the real Trump since his last presidency. I don't think we've seen the real Joe Biden. I don't know if that person is alive or not, but that person that's been president that was called Joe Biden, that I know that wasn't him, because he looked completely different from the Joe Biden that was the vice president during Obama's presidency. He looked like a completely different person. Kamala Harris looks different. I always felt like something was going on with her chest and her neck and her face. She just looked different than what I saw. I think those people knew to leave. So basically, I guess we're gonna hear something about Donald Trump in May of 2026. We're gonna hear something about Donald Trump. And I think 2026 would be a year to just slow down. I don't know if that's a year that you really want to be busy trying to grind, because there's going to be another nuclear explosion. I don't know if it's just going to be for the United States, or is it going to be in different places of the world. But it's going to be, and that's like, why are they coming so back to back to back like that? Like it was just one in 2021. Now it's going to be another one like it coming up after 2026. Okay? When the Democrats get in office, that's when the nuclear explosion is going to be. And it made me realize, that's why they rushing and doing it so quick back to back, because I think the earth is going to be complete. It's going to be complete with the splitting. The earth is going to completely split. It's going to be another earth. And the old earth is going to stay behind. And when I talked about brown people and those Democrats, a lot of them are going to stay in the old earth. even if they are so-called religious, but because of their political beliefs, I don't really care about politics, honestly. But because they have so much faith and treat Obama like a god and treat Kamala like a god, they're going to most likely stay in the old earth. And this is why I've said time and time again to disconnect yourself from brown people, just disconnect yourself spiritually. You really it's not even about brown people. You should just really disconnect yourself from anybody who's not evolving. It's best to really disconnect yourself from anybody who's not evolving, but definitely the brown community, because they're like the lowest. They really seem to be the lowest vibration. So definitely disconnect from them. You know, what else was I gonna say? Because it's time for me to get off. I can't look and see who's commenting right now because I'm driving, so I can't see who's commenting. But what else was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would be, for me, it's best to just going to be focused on your spirituality, whatever that is. Just get out your ego as much as possible. So whatever your spiritual practice is, it doesn't matter. Just get out your ego as much as possible. And try to prepare to be a fit for the new earth. Because I believe there's going to be another nuclear explosion. People don't want to believe it was one in 2021, United States of America. But that's why people are so bloated over here. And when they leave the country, the United States is not a country, but it's what do you call it? United States is like a business. What do you call it? A corporation. It's a corporation. It's not really a country. But when people leave United States of America, when they go other places, they always say that they get smaller, like they're not bloated anymore. And I feel like it's because it's a lot of radiation in the United States of America. And yeah, people can say it's the 5G and all that stuff right there. I believe, along with that a lot of that radiation comes from the fact that there was a nuclear explosion. A lot of that radiation comes from the fact that there was a nuclear explosion. And even though we don't know, a lot of people don't know that they're dead or unalive, they're still like getting the effects of all of that radiation. And when they do leave the United States, because the nuclear explosion didn't happen in those other areas, they feel a lot better. But anyway, and then they're trying to raise everything to 6G, making sure that something happened. You don't, like, they don't want you to cross over. They want you to be stuck here. But anyway, hello. That's it, and I will talk later.